I'd like to call this low budget TED Talk. They say that high school is the best 4 years of your life, which is usually accompanied by the groans of adolescents wondering if this is, in fact, what their life will amount to. Well, to be completely honest with you, I know about as much on the subject as we do about the elusive they, who claims that these are, in fact, the best of times. Having said that, you're probably wondering why I'm even sitting here talking to you today. Well, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Rachel Ottoby, and in a week, I'll be graduating high school and starting the next chapter of my life at Cal State San Marcos. If my 4 years have gotten me anything, I think it's the right to an opinion. No, high school is not the best times of your life. They are, however, what you make of them. Which brings me to my point. This is your life. Do what makes you happy. And it doesn't matter if what makes you happy doesn't fit in with social norms or what society deems acceptable. If it brings joy or makes your life better in any way, do it. Happiness is as unique as each individual person. And the truth is, I can't tell you how to have a good time in high school because I'm not you. What I can tell you is about my experiences, my successes and my failures, in hopes that you will interpret this in whatever way you can and somehow apply it to your life to make it more positive. For me personally, I think I learned a life lesson every year of my high school. So if you'll indulge me, I'm going to tell you about them now. My freshman year, I learned a lot about myself. And I also learned for the first time in my life what it meant to be confident in yourself. I think to preface this, you should know about middle school Rachel. That's this little scrawny kid with the turtleneck dress who was actually bullied. I don't really like to talk about being bullied because I feel like it was just a phase in my life and it doesn't define who I am or who I've become at all. I think it just was something that happened, and in like a strange way, I'm sort of grateful that it happened because I'm sitting here right now talking to you about confidence. Like, that would be unheard of when I was 13 years old. I first became self-aware of myself, was when the summer before freshman year, I looked in the mirror and it was at a really low point in my life. And I just thought to myself, who has the right to tell you that you're not pretty enough, that you're not smart enough, and that you're not worthy? Now, this little pep talk, mind you, gave me a really odd amount of confidence. And to put that into perspective, I'm going to tell you about my first day of high school. So, I'm just going to set up a scene. There's scrawny little Rachel, but now she's on a turtleneck dress. She's in a cheer uniform. And I don't know what it was, but I walked into my first period English class like I owned the room, like I was the queen. But also keep in mind that I went to West Hills because no one from my middle school was going there, so it was sort of like starting fresh. Anyways, I go and I decide that I am too cool to sit in my chair. I'm going to sit on top of the desk. And most classrooms, they have the desk connected to the chair. That's what this one was. They're also extremely unsturdy. And I end up flipping the table with the chair backwards, landing like completely on my back, legs spread open, just on the floor. I'm mortified. People were like walking in the first day of school, and there's just this girl on the floor and the desks are like dominoes, like ding 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 ding. And there's two ways that I could have went about this. The first way would have been middle school Rachel, who would have literally went into Ninja Turtle shell mode and went into the corner and wouldn't talk to anybody for the rest of the year because people were going to judge me or think I'm weird because I flipped the table. The second was actually what I decided to do, thanks to my little mirror pep talk, and that was to laugh at myself. And it was weird because, I think that people, they were laughing at me, but they're also like laughing with me, and it actually opened so many doors. It sort of broke the ice, and I made so many friends in that class, and also just in other classes. It just sort of, I don't know, it like made me almost forget about being bullied. I definitely think that that first day of high school taught me a lesson that I still use to this day, and it's that people won't respect you if you don't respect yourself. And I'm not saying by any means do not try this at school. Do not flip your table to make friends. I think that that's just some weird, awkward Rachel thing that happened in my life. But I mean, it definitely helped me to realize that, okay, being more comfortable with myself and laughing at myself instead of worrying so much what other people think is accepted and people respect you for it. So definitely finding my confidence, finding my mojo, that definitely made freshman year a lot easier for me. Next is sophomore year. And I really learned this the hard way, and it is to set a goal for yourself. I'm not saying to know what you want to do for the rest of your life by any means, but I think it's really important to think about what you want to accomplish in high school so that you know what you need to do to make sure that that can happen. For me, I always was sort of raised, because I was raised with parents who are in the school district, with sort of having a focus on academics. Sophomore year, I sort of strayed from that. I think it was a lot of becoming involved with a boy, and I sort of just kind of made him my everything, and I lost track of what I needed to do. For me personally, I think that if I could go back in time, I would definitely set more academic goals for myself as well as not so much social goals. I became so confident in social that I lost track of my schoolwork my sophomore year, and I think a lot of that has to do with the reason why I applied and didn't get into colleges that my whole life I thought I would get into. Not saying that San Marcos is a bad school, but I definitely had bigger dreams for myself, personally. So I think that whatever you do choose, whether it is academic or athletic or social or just whatever you decide that you want to do, I think that you should set a realistic goal for yourself and figure out ways that you can achieve that goal. Just so that you know what you want to accomplish in high school, and so when you graduate, you won't have any regrets. My third piece of advice came my junior year. I never really thought about it, but I am truly blessed to have 4 to 5 friends. And that sounds like weird, but I have like school friends, but I think it's really important to find a group of people that you know will stand by you for your whole high school experience and into life. And this was my freshman year, and these girls, I am happy to say, have stood by me my whole high school experience. I've also made another lifelong friend who's not actually in this picture. But I once heard the saying, it's better to have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. And I think that that could apply to friendships, definitely. I think that a lot of people get wrapped up in the idea of making sure they have all these friends, but for me, I'm almost happy that I didn't. I found a core group of people that I can trust with anything and that I can call crying in the middle of the night if I need to, and they'll be there for me. I think that that made high school a lot easier because they were always there. And I mean, some of the girls in this picture, like, I still have class with. Like, look, Romo, it's baby Sonia and Rachel. And the other Rachel, like, look, we're freshmen and we're still friends to this day. So I think that definitely making sure you find people that you can surround yourself with is really important. And my last piece of advice comes my senior year, and I just figured it out this time. I think it's to become more involved. Now, this is not something that you've set up in your goal, then by all means don't like plug your ears. But for me, I personally decided to join ASB, and it was the best decision of my life. Every kid in that class is so accepting. You become so involved in the schools. You get to know not only students but faculty members, and it is just the most awesome experience. If I could go back in time and tell myself anything, I think it would be to join ASB sooner. It was such an awesome experience, especially if you're shy. Everyone is so accepting, and I've made even more friends just from that class. But you don't even have to do ASB. That was just something that I specifically did. It's really good to become involved in sports or in clubs or drama or band. Something that you know that you could mesh well. You meet so many people. You make so many friends. You get life experience, and it's just awesome. Another piece of advice from senior year is if you're watching this and you know you're going to be in AP Lit your senior year and you get this project, make sure you don't do it the night before so that you can have more of a quality background than being in your mom's bedroom the night before. And that is, before you go, I want to end with a quote that I related to and that you'll read too your junior year when you read The Great Gatsby. It's the last thing that Nick says to Gatsby, and he tells him, "They're a rotten crowd. You're worth the whole damn bunch." I wish you all the success, not just in high school, but in whatever you decide to do with your life. And have a good day, I guess.